gaga, la, 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 la.
Well, as we prepare for the picks...
You're stupid.
That's not a very nice thing to say, Carl. Dan from Woodbury by phone, Carl Gerbschmidt by phone. Before we say hi to Carl, I want to say hi to Dan from Woodbury and ask him this question. Apparently, and I don't know if you got into this on your program as well, there are even more outlets suggesting that indeed Childress has emerged as a viable, more than a dark horse candidate for the University of Miami job. I have already said that if Brad Childress is the next coach at the University of Miami, I will find the ugliest toupee I can and wear it for the Monday show, or, the day after he is hired. In all seriousness, am I missing something? I know there's this connection because of Donna Shalala, but I would be stunned if somebody would say we're going to turn over a college program. It's not even necessarily a rip on Childress as much as it's such a different animal. This to me is one of those rumor mill things gone wild.
Yeah, I don't even know why you'd want that. A lot of these guys, once you've gone pro, it's hard to go back to the AMs, as they like to say. The other thing, did you see this? I've had one caller and an emailer, different people, say, and they both said the same thing, and I don't know if I can believe it or not, that the one guy was on the plane with Childress when he flew to Florida, and you know who picked him up at the airport? Brewster.
That's ludicrous.
Well, I thought it was, but two guys. Well, I'm going with it because one guy emailed it and another guy called it, and they were two different people.
Should I call you Woodward or Bernstein?
Well, you can call me a little of both, but I'm going with it.
Might as well. It can't. Well, it's a fairly harmless. If it's false, it's fairly harmless, I would say, and it's kind of amusing. Carl Gerbschmidt, what do your sources tell you about the possibility of Brad Childress landing at the University of Miami?
I don't know about that.
Let's never stop the rest of us.
I kind of feel bad he got fired.
How come?
I don't think he was that bad. I don't think he was such a bad coach.
You never complimented him before.
Well, here's the deal. We kind of thinking about it, because we kind of paused to reflect. This is the second coach we got fired this year. I feel kind of bad for these guys. First of all, what a liar. Expect? What do the teams expect, that they're going to beat the Packers? No, they're not going to win. So it's like if you got these crazy expectations that somehow you're going to beat the Packers, and then you go fire your coach afterwards, I think that's kind of stupid. I think that people should be smarter than that and understand that, look, there's things you can't change in this world.
It's an unfair burden. You're saying it's an unfair burden on any coach.
It is unfair. It's unfair to them. So it's, it's too bad because you feel bad for the guy because he certainly seemed like a nice fellow.
You're not in first place. You know that, right?
Just a matter of time.
What's that supposed to mean?
Just a matter of time. What do you mean, what's it supposed to mean?
Well, you just
I'm
lost.
Not being vague. It said it's just a matter of time.
You played a quality opponent in Atlanta. You couldn't get it done.
Yeah, well, first of all, this is a dirty team. Very dirty.
They're dirty.
And they played cheap. And we got a couple bad calls.
Has your team ever...
could have gone either way.
Has your team ever lost legitimately?
Yeah, we have.
What year was that?
It was back in the 80s.
Yeah, in the 80s. That's what I figured.
They weren't very good back then.
By the way, you're doing
By the way, I'm telling you right now, I am not cheering for the green and gold this weekend.
You're not?
No, I'm not cheering for the green and gold.
How come?
Because we're wearing throwback uniforms and they're blue.
Well, you're clever. Dan from Woodbury.
Yeah, so sweet. Have you seen them?
Didn't he have you fooled?
So sweet. Have you seen our throwback uniform?
No.
It's got like a circle in the front with a number in the middle, and they're blue and no stripes and nothing. It's like back in the old days of Acme Packers.
There's an old saying they have in Green Bay. I know they have it in Minneapolis. Fool me once, shame on me.
I didn't think they liked to live in the past.
Shame on you.
Yeah.
We have that.
You had us all snookered. I know that.
And we got brown helmets.
I didn't think Packer fans like to live in the past.
Don't you know?
No, it's a throwback. Have you ever heard of that? Have you ever done that?
If you've looked at the mathematics, if you do lose this week, you could be eliminated from the playoff chase. Not mathematically, but close.
Why are you guys talking like that?
Your team might not make the playoffs this year.
Your team is terrible. How is that possible?
Well, which team is his team? You talking about the Lions or the Vikings or both?
Doesn't matter. Put them both together. I still can't get to the Packers.
That's some truth to that, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's
Gerby was 3-0 last week.
Yeah, 3-0.
And we didn't even do the picks, so somehow he's 13.
No, I was 3-0. I mailed the picks in.
Of course you did.
Well, 2 weeks ago he actually was.
It's like, first of all, number one, you are purposely trying to keep me off the radio. I tried to call him for 1
we were off.
week. One full week I tried to call in after the Packers beat the Vikings, and you wouldn't even let me on. I don't know who the hell that screener person is, but they're a lot smarter than your previous ones were.
Guardsy 1-2, Common 1-2. I was 2-1, although I didn't even do the picks. I think
that was Sludge.
Sludge did them for me.
Too.
So here's
Hi-Fi, you're better on your picks when somebody else picks them for you. You can continue that.
I was hoping you wouldn't have noticed that. Guardsy 14-18-1. I'm 14-18-1. Common and Gerby are both 13-19-1.
Actually, I think I got more right last week, too.
Yeah, well, of course you did. Let's start with an A.
Of course I did.
I'm not a big AFC guy, but I do love the matchup. It's the Monday Nighter, if I'm not mistaken.
Just blow me off.
Right here on the Fan, I'm assuming?
We'll have it.
Yeah. Patriots are at home, favored by 3.5 over the Jets. That's two, if I'm not mistaken, 9-2 ball clubs going at it. No love lost. Something's got to give. Let's start with Carl.
Yeah, it's a tough game. I was thinking about this because there's two teams. It's for division supremacy, and it's a tough game. I'm having a hard time with it.
Oh, do you want us to go to you last? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
I mean, just
do.
Take a stand. I mean,
I kind of like to have you come to me last.
All right, Dan from Woodbury, you're next. I guess.
No, I'm kidding.
Well, so am I. Thanks.
All right. I'll go next. At the beginning of the season, I said it would be Jets-Falcons in the playoffs, and I have no reason to disbelieve that now, at least until one of them gets eliminated from Super Bowl contention, then I'll deny that I ever made that prediction. I do like the Jets. I do think one thing, though, we know that Rex Ryan likes to be, say things and be bold and brash.
He's a doofus.
Well, I think part of the reason he's doing it now because I think he probably does believe that he's trying to give his team something. If I brag him up, maybe that'll fire him up more because I really do think we're in trouble when we go to New England. That being said, I think that psychology works with these guys, and I think him basically last week when he said, I know everybody thinks New England's the best team in football, but I don't particularly agree with him. I think that kind of talk does fire up guys. I think New England's going to, I think the Jets are going to spring the upset. I think they're going to win that game.
Carl?
The Patriots are going to win. And they're gonna. I don't think it's really gonna be close because I think the Patriots are better. And also, if the Patriots win this game, then they won't care so much in a couple weeks.
I'll go next. New England will destroy the Jets. I'm not saying the result wouldn't be different if they end up playing in the playoffs somehow in New York, but the Patriots are the best team in football right now. And I guess if you look at who the Jets have largely beaten, I'm still not quite convinced they're as brilliant as their 9-2 record. I'm not quite there yet. It's not been a cavalcade of great teams. I'll take New England to win fairly easily. Guardsy.
I couldn't have said it any better myself. New England will cover that 3.5. The Jets beat two terrible teams back-to-back weeks in overtime.
And struggled to do it.
Exactly. So, I like the Jets. I like Rex Ryan, too, but I'm going with the Patriots to win by more than 3.5.
Both those games are on the road, I think, so, my boy.
Doesn't matter.
All right, well, you say what you want. You go ahead. You can doubt the Jets all you want. The days of Broadway Joe are coming back.
All right, speaking of Broadway, well, no, there is no transition to that. Bears-Lions.
Why had to pick that?
Well, we got 3 games. Calm down. Bears-Lions next. Detroit.
Yeah, but you're not going to pick the Packer game. I'm on to you guys. I'm on to you. You do this every week.
No, we don't. That's a crock. You just did 2 weeks ago. You did the Packer game.
Yeah.
Because they play the Vikings.
Well, that counts, doesn't it?
You don't even do it. It's like, what do you think? People don't like the Packers?
Well, no, we just like some suspense.
People like the Packers and like the Bears.
I don't think that's true.
That's true. Why don't you have a phone-in poll? Why don't you do some sports talk on your show? Why don't you put it on your internet thing? Get to a poll. Who do you like better, the Packers or the Bears?
Lions are hosting.
It's a good idea, Kyle, but we're not going to do that.
The Lions are
your ideas, Kyle.
Favored, but not favored. The Bears are favored by 4.5 on the road in Detroit against Commons Motor City Kitties. Gerby?
Well, so I didn't get to mention the fact that John Madden gave the Green Bay Packer offensive line an award this week. John Madden said they're the best protectors in all of football.
John Madden's retired.
He doesn't work in football
anymore. He doesn't even watch the games anymore.
He was given the Madden. They gave him the MVP award. It was presented by Prilosec, which you guys should probably know something about. Because your team makes you sick.
What's that supposed to mean?
I think you know what it means.
Bears or Lions, Carl?
Oh, who cares? I think the Lions will cover. I'll tell you